Are you looking for the best mechanical gaming keyboards? In this video, we will look at some of the 7 best mechanical gaming keyboards on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Logitech Pro X TKL. Logitech makes some of my favorite keyboards, and the Pro X TKL, or Tenkulous, meaning it lacks a numpad, is among the best gaming keyboards. It has vibrant RGB LED backlit keys, and a choice of clicky, tactile, or linear switches, and it uses Logitech's Lightspeed wireless adapter for competitive gaming level response time. I love that the adapter lets you pair multiple devices with a single, low-profile USB dongle, so you don't need to use all your ports for your various accessories. The build quality of this keyboard is slick and stylish. It's minimal and doesn't take up much space on your desk, and it has a subtle metallic rim around the edge that gives it a little flair that most plain keyboards lack. The volume wheel in the upper right is smooth and easy to reach, and along the top are handy media controls so you can pause your music when you finally get into a game after a long queue. For my tastes, the more clicky-clacky a keyboard, the better, and the black clicky switches have served me well. Each key press feels like I'm sending tiny thunder down to my game. However, if you prefer something softer, you can choose another switch type. The only thing I dislike is the lack of a numpad. Yes, I'm one of those weirdos who prefers having a numpad. But for most people, this is the keyboard to beat. Alternative, the Logitech Pro X60 for $180, 8/10, Wired recommends, has virtually all the benefits of the Pro XTKL in a smaller, more compact package. It keeps the volume wheel, game mode switch, and Bluetooth/Lightspeed buttons by moving them to the edges of the keyboard, while slimming the whole thing down to a 60% layout. Number 2. Keychron Q5 Pro and Q6 Pro. If you're familiar with Keychron at all, there's a good chance it's due to keyboards like the Q5 Pro and Q6 Pro, 8 out of 10, Wired recommends. Both models come in a sturdy, full metal case which minimizes the keyboard getting bumped and moved around your desk. The Q6 Pro is a full-size layout with a numpad and everything, while the Q5 Pro slims down just a hair to a 96% layout, dropping a few less commonly used keys like Insert, and tucking the arrow keys just under the Enter key. Everything on these boards is customizable and reparable, from the hot swappable switches and replaceable keycaps to remapping every button using QMK/VIA. It's our favorite mechanical keyboard for productivity, but it's also just a generally solid keyboard all around. If you're looking for something a little more specialized, be sure to check out our Best Mechanical Keyboards guide. Number 3. Logitech MX Keys S. For all the fancy mechanical keyboards I've tested, the Logitech MX Keys S is still my daily driver. It can pair with 3 devices, making it easy to swap between computers. Its low-profile chiclet-style keys are comfortable, and it uses proximity sensors to activate the key backlight when your hands get near, so it's easier to see in the dark without wasting battery when you're not using it. It supports both Mac and Windows layouts, and the keys are tastefully labeled in a way that it's clear no matter which one you're using at the time. Battery life is also fantastic, lasting well over a week with normal use, though it gets quite a bit longer if you disable the backlight. Alternative, we also like the MX Mechanical, $170, for its understated, low-profile design. Like the MX keys, you can pair it with up to 3 devices at once and swap with the push of a button. There are even a few convenient extra buttons just above the numpad to launch a calculator or lock your desktop. Number 4. Turtle Beach Vulcan 2 TKL Pro. The Vulcan 2 Mini was previously one of our top picks, but the Vulcan 2 TKL Pro improves on it in almost every way. Like the smaller variation, it has 2 LEDs per key, giving it a better resolution for lighting effects. The new model features Hall effect switches, which should cut down on wear and tear. They're still satisfyingly clicky, and the volume knob has a comfortably grippy texture. I prefer any keyboard with a volume wheel to one without. If you prefer the compact 65% layout and are willing to give up the wheel to get it, you can still buy the original Vulcan 2, which is often on sale for a pretty solid discount. Alternative, the Corsair K65, $160, 75% keyboard has some of the softest, most comfortable keys of any board I've tested. It's lightweight enough to toss in a bag, but sturdy enough to be your desktop keyboard. It can connect via USB-C, Bluetooth, or a wireless dongle that can be stored in a slot on the rear of the keyboard. A stylish metal volume knob adorns the top right corner, and every keycap and switch can be swapped out using the included removal tool. It was our previous pick for portable keyboard, and it's still a solid choice, but we have to give a slight edge to Turtle Beach for the Hall effect switches on the Vulcan 2. Number 5. Razer Huntsman Mini. A 60% keyboard has 60% of the keys normally found on a regular-sized keyboard. The numpad and arrow keys are chopped off, and you're left with the essentials. The Razer Huntsman Mini is my favorite of this size for gaming. It feels every bit as responsive and quick as a full-size keyboard, but it takes up a lot less desk space. There's just something very neat and orderly about it. Plus, like the larger Huntsman Elite, the Mini is compatible with Razer's keycap kits, so you can customize your color scheme. Number 6. Keychron Q1 He. Hall effect switches, so named due to some really fascinating science we explain below, are the hot new tech making their way through keyboards this year. And the Keychron Q1 He is one of the best boards we've tested that make use of this fancy new tech. You can customize the actuation point to either make keys more sensitive so you don't have to press them all the way down for keystrokes to register, or less sensitive, to avoid those fat finger moments that can ruin competitive games. Keychron even has rapid trigger settings that allow you to press a key multiple times without the key having to return fully to its resting position. Even outside the benefits of the Hall effect switches, this is another great mechanical keyboard in line with the kind that Keychron is known for, so it's worth a look even if you don't want to pay that much attention to every aspect of your keys. Number 7. Razer Huntsman V3 Pro TKL. The Huntsman V3 Pro TKL is a robust keyboard for those who like to tweak their gaming setup. It uses Razer's analog optical switches, which are satisfyingly clicky. On the top right, there's a media knob that controls the volume, which you can also click to mute. However, it's the buttons around it that are most interesting. To the left, there are 2 programmable macro keys you can use to customize different commands for your games or your work. Below, on the navigation keys, are 6 profile shortcuts. Hold FN and press one of them, and you can swap between several preset profiles, tailored to specific gaming needs like FPS mode, racing mode, or high sensitivity mode when you need to pull off that hair trigger. All of this can be customized in the Razer Synapse app. We've tested a lot of keyboards with different customization options, but this one is particularly good for gamers who swap profiles a lot. The keyboard connects using a USB-C cable included with the device, and it also comes with a magnetic wrist rest.